The G20 summit is on in the national capital, and all eyes are at what is taking place at the resplendent Bharat Mandapam. Joining us on the broadcast at this point of time is a very special guest, Dr. Devi Shetty, who is the founder and chairman of Narayana Health. Devi Shetty is an Indian entrepreneur and a cardiac surgeon who has performed more than 1 lakh heart operations. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sir. My very first question to you, what do you make of the Delhi declaration at the G20 summit?
See, it's a very proud moment for all the Indians, because now we are reaching a position to ascertain ourselves as a country which can lead the world in many areas. Every few decades, some countries take the lead in pushing the global prosperity, economy, and the social order. Initially it was US and Europe, and to some extent China took over to quite a large extent. Now it is India's turn, and we are very happy to be living in this time, to see our country being recognized by all the so-called developing nations or developed nations as a country which can drive the global economy. It's a very, very happy experience for all of us.
Indeed, a proud and happy experience for all of us, as you've put it. How big a statement is it that India has achieved 100% consensus at the G20 summit?
India has always been fair in terms of its relationship with the neighbors and rest of the world. We, in the history of this country, we haven't really invaded any other country, and we are a peace-loving country which believes in fairness. And today we are in a position to make a significant difference to the world. And this is exactly what we have put across. It's not about just taking from them. It's about giving and taking. So in which both, it's like a win-sum game for both parties. So essentially, whatever points we have put across, and obviously there was no debate, because it's good for them, good for us, good for everyone. So I am not surprised at all that, most of the declarations, what we wanted, has gone through.
Indeed, and even speaking of the consensus, India has achieved a consensus of 112 initiatives. This is more than double that had taken place last year. How do you commend this government's efforts to make India's G20 presidency successful?
If you track back from the day that India was chosen to lead the G20, there has been a very, very organized attempt to build the momentum from the very beginning. I don't think anyone who are at the forefront of organizing all these events around G20 took even a day's leave, because from the day one, India has been discussing bringing all the forces together of diverse interest. And you see, what we see now is a very final part of what has happened. But all these agreements between nations take hours and hours, and the months and months of effort. It's not a mean task. And India, by our position of what we are and what we stand for, is in a good position to bring all the global forces together. Yeah, I'm not at all surprised that all these declarations have gone on smoothly in terms of interest of India's interest and rest of the world. It is a culmination of all the hard work which has been done all these months.
Indeed, but apart from all of this, how do you see the promotion of India's history and culture at the Bharat Mandapam, whether it be the grand Nataraja idol that has been placed outside or the dancing girl figurine?
It is very, very important for a country like India to showcase what we are, what we stand for. Marketing is not considered as a right word by a lot of people, but it is very important for us to show to rest of the world what we are. And a marketing of our culture or our belief and what we believe in our ability to make a difference to our own countrymen and to the rest of the world. In terms of our ideology, philosophy, and everything, it has to be presented to the rest of the world in the form of some symbols. And our government took the right decision in putting the right mascot for every activity of ours.
On that note, sir, last question to you. Has the G20 Presidency established India as a voice of balance in the new global order?
India was always in this position, but today, because we are at the cutting edge of many areas which matter to the world, maybe in technology, software, space technology, manufacturing, the service industry, in everything, we are at the cutting edge and we are at the forefront. You leave alone what is happening in our country. You look at the top countries, top companies of the world, which are at the cutting edge of technology. Who are the people who are managing those companies? Who are the people who are working at the grassroots level to the position of a chairman or a CEO? Most of them come from Indian origin. It didn't happen by accident. It happened because of India's effort in investing on education, creating an environment where talent thrives, and some of the talented people went overseas to acquire new knowledge. Some of them came back, some of them stayed back. Those who came back, they spread the knowledge to the others. So all these things happen over a period of several decades of India's effort. Yeah, it is very satisfying for me watching all these things changing and India emerging as the country which can bring the world out of the recession and the economic crisis. Yeah, I'm very happy to be living in this era, which makes us so happy for being an Indian.
All right, sir. With that, I would like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast, presenting your perspectives and insights.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.